up, guys? Thanks for tuning back into my channel. I'm Natty Boss, registered dietitian, fitness trainer, and lifestyle coach of bodybyboss.com. And today I'm going to talk about a very specific topic known as weight cutting. And I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, as you guys probably know by now, and cutting weight is so crucial in this sport, and it's one of the main questions that I always get. So I really wanted to break it down today and just give you everything you need to know whether or not you should be doing a weight cut and how to do it properly. Make sure you stay tuned to the end of the video so you can get a snippet of my Nutrients for Athletic Performance guide that I created, so you know all the nutrients you need to fuel your performance, enhance your recovery, and to just be your best self as an athlete. To start, I want to talk about why you're doing a weight cut. So your motivation for doing a weight cut and cutting weight should always be based on performance. So hear me out a little bit. Obviously, if you have a lot of weight to lose, it could be a health reason why you're trying to lose weight, and that's totally fine. That's not really what we're talking about here. It's really that your motivation inside for losing weight should be based on your performance. So sometimes having a little bit extra weight actually is better for your performance, and then sometimes cutting down to a lower weight class is better for your performance. And honestly, the only way to really know is through trial and error, and then you find out where your best performance is in your specific weight. And that's kind of what I did. So as an example, I cut when I first started jiu-jitsu, I was 119. That's the weight division that I fought at. But after a while, I really wanted to build my muscle mass, and I knew that in order to do that, I was going to have to sacrifice that weight class, because building muscle means building weight. So I decided that building strength was something really important to me. So I wanted to build muscle mass, which meant build pounds, and then just have to fight in the heavier weight class. And I've been fighting at the 129 weight class for years now, and it's absolutely my best weight class. I feel my strongest. I can lift a lot, eat a lot, and still make my weight class. So it's absolutely ideal for me. But in that situation, I actually wasn't cutting weight. I actually wanted to put muscle on to go into a heavier weight class. So really you have to find out what your motivation is and where you're going to get your best performance before you start a weight cut. So before we get into the numbers and some examples here, I really want to talk real briefly about your walking weight and your fighting weight. So your walking weight is something you basically walk around in every day. My recommendation is to stay about 5 pounds of your fighting weight for your walking weight. So what that means is, for an example, I generally walk around 128 to 130. So my weight division is at 129, which means I have to actually cut to about 125. Which is about 3 pounds. So that's absolutely nothing. All I have to do is eat super clean, drink a lot of water, and do some extra cardio, and I lose 3 pounds. So that's the kind of mindset you should go into when you're doing a weight cut for tournaments. You want to try to be at a walking weight that's only 5 pounds, 10 pounds most above that fighting weight, so you can really train as close as possible to what you're going to be performing as in the tournament, if that makes any sense. So essentially, you don't want to train 20 pounds heavier, because when you're 20 pounds lighter for a tournament, everything's going to be different. Your energy levels, your actual performance. So staying as close as possible to that fight weight is really going to just be as accurate as possible of how you're going to perform on competition day. So you want to, again, be 5 to 10 pounds at most above that fight weight, so your cut is even easier when you do decide to go into it. Let's get into some numbers here. So if you have a significant amount of weight to lose, I'll give you an example in a second, then the primary goal for you is to plan your weight loss in advance. And this may be a longer term thing, so it's something you really have to decide on and take some time to plan and figure out, because it really is essential that you make sure you plan the right amount of time. So let's go right into an example. I wrote some notes down, so I'm going to read off of them so I don't mess up the numbers, because I have it all planned out for you guys. So if you have 20 pounds to lose, 1 pound of fat or muscle is 3,500 calories. So what you're going to do is going to multiply the 20 pounds versus the 3,500 calories, and you're going to get 70,000 calories. That's how many calories you have to burn in order to lose 20 pounds. I know that sounds like a lot, but you break it down by day, so you know how many calories you have to decrease each day in order to meet your weight that you're trying to hit. So a healthy weight loss is about 1 pound a week. So we're going to use this example. You have 20 pounds to lose, so that 20 pounds, 1 pound a week is 20 pounds in 20 weeks. 20 weeks translates to about 5 months. We're going to average out 30 days is in each month. So 30 times 5 is going to give you 150 days. That's the total amount of days. Now, 70,000 calories is the total amount of calories you need to burn. So all you do is divide 70,000 by 150, and that's going to give you approximately 466 calories each day that you have to burn. Now, that's very manageable. It's actually under the recommended amount of burning 500 calories a week, so it's about 466, and that's a very rough example, but that's something to let you know that it's a long process, right? It takes 5 months for you to be able to burn 20 pounds in a sustainable way where you're not going to rebound. And I'll talk about rebounding in a second. So that's something to consider. If you want to go into a tournament, it's important that you don't rush it, especially if you have a lot of weight to lose. You need to do this math so you make sure that you're doing it appropriately and you're actually giving your body the fuel that it needs, but still being in a deficit so where you can lose weight. Now, let's use an example where this is such a typical scenario I get all the time, so I really wanted to make sure that I bring this up. There's a tournament in 1 month, you really want to do it, and you have 15 pounds to lose to maybe get in a weight class where you feel comfortable competing against other people your level and your weight. So you feel like 15 pounds in a month, should I do a weight cut? The answer, we will figure it out together. Let's get into it. Remember, we have 30 days. So it takes 3,500 calories for 1 pound. You want to lose 15 pounds. We're going to times 3,500 times 15. That's going to give us 52,500 calories in 30 days. So when you divide that by 30 days, that means you have to reduce your calories 1,750 calories a day. Does that sound sustainable? Absolutely not, right? So for the average person, we eat 2,000 calories, right? So 2,000 calories minus 1,750, that's leaving you with less than 300 calories a day, including all your training. It's not sustainable. So what that translates to is that you'd be losing 4 pounds a week, approximately 4 pounds a week. And remember, our goal is to lose only 1 pound a week for sustainable weight loss. So that's 4 times more than it's going to be sustainable for you. So the answer, should you do that weight cut, losing 15 pounds in 1 month? No. Now, why not? Maybe you can do it, maybe you can hit that goal, but why should I still not do it if maybe I can lose that weight in that amount of time? Good question.
Good question.
Good question.
The answer is simple. The term that I went back to before, rebounding. Your body will go into a rebounding state where your metabolism is just going to backfire from being in such a caloric deficit for so long and not in an appropriate allotted time. Like, you kind of didn't give it a chance to adjust. So it's going to rebound, and the 15 pounds that you lost, you might put back 25 more pounds. So it's going to make it, 1, even harder to cut next time. 2, your hormones and metabolism is going to be completely out of whack, that it's going to make it way harder to cut. And then plus, you're going to be gaining a lot of fat, most likely back, in a shorter amount of time, because most likely as part of your cut you ate clean, you were doing a lot of cardio, and then you're going to be in such that hunger state where you want all that food back, that you're going to be rebounding with all these treats, and it's really just not going to do your body well. And then for your next cut, for your next tournament, it's going to be so much harder to get back on track. So if you do it in a sustainable way and then you end up hovering, so after your tournament you gain that 5-10 pounds back, that's fine, because again, your walking weight will be about 5-10 pounds above your fighting weight, which is way more manageable, and it's way easier to make that smaller cut in a smaller amount of time. Losing 5 pounds in a month is way more sustainable than losing 15 pounds. I know this was a lot of math at you. I hope this gave you a little bit more, a better understanding on whether or not you should be doing a weight cut and how to do it properly. And depending on the scenario, use this formula. I'll have it in the description box so you can kind of use it as a reference to determine if you feel that it's appropriate for you to do a weight cut. And you know what, if you feel that it's telling you 1,700 calories you have to cut, then maybe plan to do a tournament later on and not so close, so you can do it in a sustainable way that really helps to promote your performance and also just your overall wellness and just health after the performance. And a little side note tidbit before we wrap this up is that if you're new to jiu-jitsu, you absolutely 100% want to contact your coach if you have interest in doing a tournament and talk with them, ask them about competing, let them know and say you're interested, but like what tournaments did they recommend you do as a beginner? They'll give you so much insight and they are your coach. So you really have to respect that and use their knowledge to determine, if they think it's even a right time for you to do a tournament. You might just not know enough yet and they don't want you to get hurt. So really contact your coach, ask him about weight classes, discuss that, and use a plan, work together, and figure it out. And that is the best way to go about doing a weight cut in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I hope this gave you some insight. Again, don't forget to snag that free guide that I created for athletes that tells you all the nutrients you need to really fuel your performance. So seriously, I wouldn't miss out if you are an athlete, especially in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. This was designed for you guys. So again, give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.